It's Castle again. It is June 13th, 2015 at 12:16 a.m. I make these videos at night, and it's also easier so that no one actually randomly walks into my room and is just like, why are you talking to yourself? Anyway, I thought I would make a little update, because my previous video talked about how I was really nervous about going to my old therapist for the first time in 8 years. So I was super nervous with really no full good reason to be that nervous. But it went a lot better than I could have ever expected. And previously I'd said that she didn't remember me. Actually she did. She had thought that I had said that my last name started with a W instead of an F. And so she was like, I never had anyone with the last name W by your first name. But yeah, so I went in and I talked about my relationships with all my family, because obviously that's changed in the past 8 years. And then she asked me what my idea of femininity and masculinity were, and the differences between them. And so basically I talked about how I saw it. I guess it was more socially is what I explained it as, how I would see girls wearing dresses and frills and makeup, and a lot of girls have long hair, and I see that as very feminine. And then there's something about the way girls move and how they gesture and all of that it's hard to explain, but something about that and the interest that girls have, or at least that I've seen, that are really feminine, I don't have. And then masculinity, I kind of said it was more like how I see my brothers and my dad, where they're not like buff and, man, let's go wrestle in the dirt or whatever, which a lot of people associate with masculinity. But I'm more associated with, they're clear-headed, they don't really over-exaggerate and get upset real quickly. And I've always felt comfortable around the guys in my family. Maybe not so much my eldest brother, but that's because he's like 7 years older than me and we haven't been real close or anything. But I have nothing against them, of course. But with my two older brothers that are closer to age to me, and then my dad, I was always able to easily talk to them. More so my brothers, of course. But I felt more comfortable talking to them. I felt like they understood me more than my mom or my stepmom or any of my sisters. But yeah, I explained that comfortable factor with guys that I'm close with, but it doesn't fully spread to the guys all around me. Because she also asked if most of my friends in college were male. I told her no, because basically I have 2 or 3 friends, and close friends. So yeah, I mean, I guess if I say 2, then I have 1 guy friend, one girl friend. So it's kind of even. But I don't know. I don't know how to really say that that's some big factor, because I've always found it hard to make friends as I've been getting older. I've found it hard because I'm not comfortable being myself, I guess, around people, and so I can't really approach them and say, hey, this is me. The therapist appointment wasn't bad at all. We made the goal to figure out if I'm trans, and what that means for me. If I'm transgender, if I'm not, and if I am, what I would want to do about it, what kind of journey do I want to be on? Which, I mean, I've still been coming to the conclusion every night that I'm transgender, that I'm a guy, because I've always wanted to be a guy. And that's not something that's just gonna disappear. And the fact that when one of my friends dressed me up as a guy and I felt more confident than I've ever felt before going out in public, I felt confident. That fact's not going to disappear. That was the most confidence I've ever had. So I think that's a big thing to overlook with all of this. But yeah, overall, just the goal is to figure out everything, decide what's going to happen from there. My hope is to come out to everyone I know before the end of the summer, so that I can have my college start calling me by male pronouns, by whatever name I choose, that kind of thing, kind of get the ball rolling. I wouldn't think I would be on testosterone anytime soon. My thought would be 2016, I would be on testosterone. It would be quite some time from now. But I think the factor of coming out to everyone before the end of the summer and having those male pronouns be replacing the female pronouns, having a new name replacing my old name, the haircut I'll have on Monday, shave that off, it'll look something like that, yeah, maybe thin this out, spike it up, something. I'll figure it out when I get there, though. And just, yeah, having a guy haircut, having more male clothes, which I had mentioned in my previous video. I had gotten 2 shirts the other day. This is the other one. It looks inside out. It basically is made inside out, and then a little pocket. I always like these pocket shirts. But so I'm hoping for that. Yeah, I've been working a lot, so that kind of keeps my mind off of things, which is good, because often enough I wake up, I don't know if it's very dysphoric or just I wake up depressed or something, where I'm just really down, and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go to work. I never want to go to work, but I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to get out of bed, which feels really alarming to me. But once I go to work, I work it all out. I just get all the frustrations out and slicing deli meat for people, I guess. And then by the time 8 hours later rolls around, I usually come home driving, and things are a little more up, though some nights are a little tough. Well, not a little, but yeah, some nights are tough. Tonight isn't too bad. I came home in a pretty good mood, so I'm making this video to update everyone. But yeah, another thing, I have been trying to get published by a blog called Hello Giggles, which was started by Zoe Deschanel from New Girl, and they had said that they would publish one of the articles I had sent to them under From Our Readers, which is the first step to becoming a continuing contributor, a regular contributor, and the article was basically about how joining the LGBT community taught me about love, how my first boyfriend, I didn't love him as I had for like a whole year said that I loved him. I didn't know what love was, how cheesy that is, but we had decided, first time we meet each other, let's go to prom. Great idea, right? No. So I had broken up with him after prom. Good on me, right? Yeah. Past is past. But, and then a few months after that, my now ex-girlfriend, of 7 months, she had indicated she liked me, and I was like, well, no, I'm heterosexual, I'm straight, I don't like girls, and I had pressed that for months, but she didn't give up, and finally that, January 2014, we had gotten together, and we were together for almost a year, 10 days under a year, and she basically taught me how to love. She was my first everything, and so that's basically what that article was about, and then they had said they were going to publish that about a week ago, and I haven't seen anything on the website. So today I wrote an article. I don't know how really good it was. I didn't really proofread it. Maybe I should have. But basically about the difficulties of figuring out if you're transgender or not, and like all the factors that roll into it. Kind of things people might ask, like, oh, you talk about how you don't like to wear dresses, you don't like to wear V-necks because you don't have anything there, so why don't you just dress like a guy but be a girl? Why don't you just be a very masculine girl? But for me, I don't think it works that way, because if, like in my article I talk about, if I'm dressing like a guy, if I have hair like a guy, and I feel like a guy, why not do the transition to be a guy? Because what's the point of having that bathroom dysphoria of everyone I know knows that I'm a girl, but I look like a guy, but I still can't use public bathrooms, either or, because what if I run into someone I know into the guy's room? What if I walk into the girl's room, but I look like a guy, and they scream? But yeah, kind of talking about all that, deciding, what's what. It's much more complex than that. I talk about certain ways I knew, or I think I know, that I'm transgender, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that they'll accept that as well, and they'll publish that, and I'll be on the roll again to becoming a regular contributor, sorry, and, I just really love to be a regular contributor for Hello Giggles. I had pitched the idea of, if I decide to transition, from female to male, I could take all the readers on that journey, because even though it is a, mostly woman writer blog, I don't think I've ever seen a male writer for it. I think being female to male transgender, I could still take people on that journey, though people might argue, no, now you're a man, so get off the page, that kind of thing. But I think it would be a good thing to tell everyone who reads that, because maybe there are other girls who are reading that and they're wondering, am I transgender, am I not? Yeah, there's a lot of help out there, but why not add some more? So I'd love to be an advocate for it if I decide to transition, or if I don't. If I don't transition, I'm still going to be a big ally of all LGBTQ people. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. Until next time.